Come here. Let's make a video. Hey guys, Chuck here. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through how I built my truck camping bed platform. Now, there's a ton of videos out there on this, and I'm fairly certain that I've seen most of them. So I pulled bits and pieces from most of them, actually, until I came up with a design that I thought best suited my needs. And so I'll show you that today. So you'll see some things that you recognize from other videos and maybe some things that you've never seen before. I don't know. But the first thing we're going to do is, we've been camping, so we're going to air this out a little bit, and I'm going to take the bedding and stuff in and wash it. And so I'll show you my mattress first, then we'll get down into the kind of details of the build. I'll need you to get down for this if you don't mind. Thank you, brother. So I started with prioritizing sleep because I've been a camper and a backpacker and hiker and stuff like that for years, basically my entire life. And so I've learned that I need to prioritize sleep. If I get a bad night's sleep, pretty much everything that following day just sucks. It just does. So I went with a 4-inch mattress. There's a reason, several reasons why I went with a 4-inch. The main thing was comfort. The second thing was I needed clearance for the ceiling. I'm already at max on that, and I'll tell you why I had to design the bed platform at the height that I did in a bit. But I found the mattress after a bunch of research. This is a Trifold. I think it's Milliard or something like that. I'll put a link below, as I will with everything that I talk about. But it's a Trifold mattress. I like it because it had good reviews. It's under $100. It folds up like a Trifold, folds up into a kind of a cover they have for it, so I can store it in a closet in the house when it's not in use. So it doesn't take up a lot of space. I don't have to mess with air mattresses or anything like that, and it's super comfortable. Also, they make specific bedding for it, so I don't have to buy like a twin mattress like I had to do in the past and then just deal with a bunch of extra material and stuff. What the bedding on it changes as far as the top covers, obviously depending on the weather. This is just a very thin, it's made by Kelty. It's got some like travel logo looking thing, like national park logo things on it, so it's kind of cool looking. But that stays on it most times, and I'll throw a sleeping bag on there if I need more warmth, and it just kind of goes from there. But I'll show you just kind of where this is. And not real thick, but it's just cushiony enough. I'm right at 6 foot. I'm about 210 pounds, and I don't bottom out. A lot of memory foam, you'll settle and you'll bottom out over time throughout the night. This one, I don't have that problem. Or you'll turn over and your elbow will go down and you'll bottom out. Again, I don't have that issue. So it's just solid enough to be comfortable, but not overly cushy to where you just kind of, like I said, bottom out into the platform below. But let me get this pulled out of here and I'll show you what we got going on. Real quick, I thought I'd show you just how that mattress actually folds up for storage. So it's still kind of big, but it's definitely more compact than it was, obviously. And it's got a little case that it'll put in and stow nicely. So just thought I'd show you that. All right, so the mattress and the bedding are all removed. So let's get in here and show you a close-up of what we got going on. Okay, so I'll get into kind of the frame and everything in a bit, but one of the first things that I had to do to figure out what kind of footprint I wanted this to have and what footprint the truck would allow it to have. That was probably a bigger issue. The things I had to contend with were basically 3 things from just building an overall rectangle design with this particular truck. My truck's a 2019 Ram 2500. It's a power wagon. So the wheel wells in here were higher than most, or than a lot of the other trucks that I've owned and that I kind of measured in this process just for comparison's sake. So I had to go a little higher than maybe some do. The other thing was, let me show you, the little tie downs over in the corners. They're just a couple inches up off the ground, so that was going to be an issue. They were going to get kind of in the way. And then this corner is radiused. It's at about a 45 degree coming off of there, so I had to make adjustments for that. And so that all had to play into the overall design. And so the best way for me to kind of get my head wrapped around that was to lay the design out, or the dimensions out. And to do that, I used electrical tape. What I basically did was took the dimensions that I needed for my body type, the size as far as needing to get out for a common mattress. And so I came up with my dimensions based off of that. Yours are going to vary, so just whatever you want your mattress to be, whatever comfort level you want to have as far as width, moving around, tossing, turning. If you're a straight back sleeper, you can probably get away. If you sleep in a mummy sleeping bag, you're probably going to be able to get away with a lot smaller width on your platform. I said I toss and turn a lot, so for me that was paramount to get something, again, so I could be comfortable. So as you can see, let me get up in here. I went with, sorry, let me open this up a little bit here. There we go. So I keep a bunch of different stuff obviously in here. I've got some extra bedding and stuff up there. I've got some stoves that are kind of right in here, my heating element, or one of my heaters. Some cookware. This is basically quick access storage for things that I may need. Most of my stuff is kept over there that I use on the regular, my extension cord and all that kind of stuff. Now, one of the things that I did was a little different. You'll see that it stops back here, right at that wheel well. So let me move this. And I put an access panel back here. And I did that for a bunch of reasons. Sorry for the shoddy camera work there. And I'm probably blowing this mic out. But this sits up here. I wanted something where I could access things easily here. And so what I did was I just built this little panel there, just cut it off. Let me move it all the way out there. So I keep stuff that I use a lot, mainly fuel. I also put fishing poles in here. I can run those the full length. Then I just pop this up and I can take everything out. I'll tell you why I wanted to do that in a bit, but I've got some recovery gear and some stuff that I don't use all that often up at the very front. Now, this is going to be hard to do one-handed, but I think I can do it. And that'll work for now. So, one of the problems I had and that I didn't want a bunch of stuff stored at the back was when the mattress is on here, I've got to lift this up and it gets super heavy. And then I've got to try to access and get it all the way up just to get that back part. It just wasn't very easy. Like I said, that stuff up there I can get to whenever I need to. It's just very, 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 very rare that I would. So that's why it's up there. But all this quick access stuff here, that's made a big convenience, or made it a lot easier for me. And I found that to be very functional. All right, so back to the frame. I had a ton of 2x2s. They weren't the best quality 2x2s, but I had a bunch of lumber up in the attic. Some of them looked like corkscrews. I mean, I've never seen wood that warped before, but it was free. Well, I say free. I had it, so I didn't have any additional expense. So I made the frame out of the 2x2, and then I'll show you some videos of, I'll show you some pictures of that process and where I braced it up at points that I thought would be weaker. So on this whole length here, I put some extra braces in there and there. Basically, any area that I thought my big butt would be setting on and putting a lot of stress, I added some extra braces, but not a lot. There's, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's probably like 4 on each side just to give it structural support. And then a crossbar right here in the middle. And you'll see these whenever I show the photos, which you're probably looking at right now. So that mattress is 75 inches long and 31 inches wide, I believe. Yeah, 31 inches wide and like I said, 4 inches thick. So it comes just almost flush to the bed. But I've got that little kick out. Remember that little corner, that radius corner there? And so I just kind of tuck that mattress up underneath there, and that helps me shut the bed, and then it kind of pops itself out. It's only when I set up that with the mattress and everything given. My dog's out there. Hey, Preacher, come here. Preacher, they don't want to walk with you. Come here. Neighbors walking around here, and he'll go for 8 walks a day if I let him. Hey buddy, come here, come on. He's very social. Anyway, so with the, and I don't remember, I may have it in the photos or something. You want to hop up here? Hey, Preacher boy. That's my man. You want to step up on that? You never get to get up there, do you? Here he is. But with the platform height, which was just, again, whatever it was needed to get over my wheel well, that's what I went with, the bare minimum to get over that wheel well. That with the 4-inch mattress puts my head kind of brushing. If you watch the videos, you'll see I'm kind of like that a little bit. Man, it's just a trade-off. I could not build this. I could have went with a shorter mattress, but then again, I would compromise sleep quality. So what am I going to do? Am I going to set up in here for 8 hours? I mean, I have. It's not ideal, but the vast majority of this is going to be laying down in here for 8 hours, hopefully. So that's why I prioritized the sleep with the 4-inch mattress over something that would give me a little bit more headroom. That's just a personal call. You can do it however you wish. That's the benefit of DIY, I suppose. All right, so let's move on. That's nice. Hey, stop. I need to get in there to show them parts of the frame. So again, man, I'm not a carpenter or anything, but one of the things that you do have to be careful of, especially if you're just running a 2x2, if you kind of get those, if you just put one screw in there, that's going to spin around more than likely. So I put a couple screws in there. You'll need to find the depth of screw that works for you. You'll need to find the width or the girth, I guess, or whatever. I'm not a carpenter, folks. But you don't want an overly thick screw to go in there, or you're going to blast out and separate your wood, which I did in several different occasions on this build. These are the hinges. I'll try to get you a better close-up of those. Let me see. All right, so those are the screws that the hinges I use. Obviously, you need to use a different screw for those. So basically, I laid this out as far as the footprint with the tape, measured the length, the width, and then got the height. I laid a board across both wheel wells and got the height for that. That's how I set that. Kind of drew that out, and then went in and sketched it out and started just putting it together. I detailed what kind of pieces I would need to make my lower frame, basically is what I started with, and then I just built it up from there. I didn't really have any plan or method. I don't. Hey, quit! I don't know, preacher, quit, dude. I don't know if the process I went through is even what you actually should, but we're not building rockets, man. It's just not that hard. If you screw it up, cut it, unscrew it, recut it, re-screw it. I mean, it's like Lincoln Logs. You just don't be intimidated by it. It's what I'm trying to say. Again, I'm fairly handy, but I'm not building houses. So if I can do this, anybody can. Just be careful about screw size, the depth, and again, wood glue is a cheap wood glue. He's just standing here. Anyway, wood glue is cheap insurance, so apply liberally. We're gonna have to hurry up a little bit because I've got storms rolling in. Yeah, you can hear the thunder. Welcome to Oklahoma. So one of the things that I did a little bit different than a lot of people is I put indoor-outdoor carpet on here, on the platform. I did that primarily so my mattress wouldn't slide. Without that, you can see a bunch of guys on there, they move their mattress around and stuff, and on Oklahoma roads, that stuff would be tossed all over. So I put that up there for that. It also, I guess I could add a little bit more padding. Definitely helps with condensation, I think. And sound deadening, all that kind of stuff. But the main reason, if I'm really 100% honest with you, was just to keep my mattress from sliding off. So you don't have to do that. What I did was, let me throw you around here. I also did the inside, I just rolled it over. Nothing major. I did put a runner all around the lip on the bottom, and that's just to keep the noise down from this slapping around and if it's rattling when I'm going down the road. I glued them, and then you'll see those staples there every so often. I used a staple gun to secure it, especially on the corners there. It's not beautiful. Watch yourself, boy. It's not beautiful, but it's definitely functional. So speaking of things moving around, I bust my butt in my own driveway. What keeps this from moving while I'm driving? Good question. Thanks for asking, Chuck. I initially thought about using some type of turnbuckle to secure it to the tie downs, but that just became overly problematic. So, and I didn't want to have to stop. I didn't want to have to because you'd have to do one front and one to the rear, and man, that's a pain to really mess with. So what I did was just raise this up, and on the corners there and a few other strategic places, I put some industrial strength Velcro on there, stapled it to the frame, and it holds it just fine. The actual frame itself can be in and out of here in just a few minutes. I'm not going to mess with it today, but I can pick it up and move it. It doesn't weigh, man, that probably doesn't weigh 35 pounds. If it weighs 40 pounds, I'd be shocked. But I can pick it up, stand it upright, and store it anywhere I need to. Real quick, something that I put on that's just, you don't have to do this, and I'm not sure if I'd go to the links I did again, but I had some veneer stuff, or I don't even know what this is. It's not very thick. It's just a little sheet of something that I had in there from some project. Preacher's going to town. He chases that ball. Dude. Get it, boy. Little Timmy going to be a soccer player.
Feel those kicks, he's going to be a soccer player.
Yes.
Of course he does it while I'm doing the video. Anyway, try to wrap this up. The, whatever you want to call that, veneer or some type of paneling. Hey, homie, enough. We're doing videos. Quiet. That ain't gonna last. Sorry about that. We had to put him in the, he's up in the truck now. So like I was saying, I just took some paneling basically that I had at the house, cut it into sections, and then stained it and put that on there. And it's a good place. Obviously it hides the contents inside, but it's a good place to, you know, promote yourself. And then I put some medical stuff. So you could strap a bunch of crap to this if you wanted to. What I do is I have my fire extinguisher. I use an Element fire extinguisher. I should probably do a video on those. They are phenomenal fire extinguishers. That's it right there. And so I have that mounted up there, so if I'm in the back and something happens, I've got fire protection readily available. We got done just in time. It's actually starting to rain now, so hopefully that answered some questions for you or provided some clarification on maybe how you can start your own project. The key thing is just don't be intimidated. You don't have to have fancy materials or expensive materials. You can literally use what you have laying around or what you can scrounge off, say, Facebook Marketplace. Whichever way you decide to go on your build, just start it. That's it. Just get out there in the garage or the backyard or wherever you're doing it and just build something. If it's not what you like or it's wrong or there's an issue with it, scrap it, start over. You'll learn from that process, and it won't take you, it just won't be as difficult as you think, okay? Remember, your ultimate goal is to get out and go camping in these things, so just do it. Don't let something like this, just building that, stop you. For the first year, I did rim rocker. I went from Montrose, Colorado to Moab and into Chicken Corners, Utah. And I just threw I didn't have any of this. I just threw that mattress that I do have back here, and I slept just on the ground. So don't wait. Go out camping ASAP. Go out and enjoy this stuff and build this as you go. Don't wait, like a lot of people do, until your rig's fully built out, because then it's never going to be done. So just jump in, take what you got, throw it in the truck, go out, and then build these things and add things to your setup as you learn what it is you actually want and what it is you actually need. Hope that helps you guys. Until next time, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, God, you got away from me. All right, until next time. Hey, preachers, you got to say bye too. Say bye, or don't.